Hey guys, this is Press here, and I'm going to be starting a new tip series on what are the best REQs to use at each level, as I know a lot of you have been asking for tips on how to become a better Warzone player and be better on sweaty games. So before I start getting into the REQs, you're going to want to know that there is no one REQ beats all. Like, depending on if you're playing as an individual or with a team, all these REQs that I'm going to mention can be utilized in different maps, different strategies, different scenarios, in different combos, so there really is no one REQ beats all. Okay, so starting up right off the bat, we're going to go with the basics. And I think one of the most basic REQs anyone can call in are the Scout or Rally Hogs and the Scout Turreted Hogs. Now, there is a key difference between these two hogs, and that is their REQ level. So the Scout Rally Hog can be called in at level 1, which means you don't have to wait the extra, like 7 to 8 seconds to kill the AI. You can just run right to the REQ station, call it in, and be ready to move right out the door. So it does save some time. But you can only have one passenger and there's no gun on it. Now, the turreted rally hog on the other end needs to be called in at level 2, which means you have to clear out all the AI, which is, that's going to delay you calling it in over the scout hog. But the key difference here is you can take one more passenger with you, and that is a guy that is going to be in the turret too. So you're going to be able to do more damage and have another passenger with you, which is huge. Now, why you want to get in these hogs are for many different reasons. First reason is getting to your power position way quicker than if you're on foot. It is so detrimental in Warzone that in the beginning of the game that you get to your power position quicker than the other team. So for say you get on a monument quicker, you get on a garage quicker, a base quicker, or any other power position in the game that you like to go to, getting there on hog way quicker than the enemy is a huge advantage that you'll have. The second reason why you want to get in a hog is to kill bosses that spawn in the beginning. A huge example of this is the boss that can spawn on Stormbreak in the middle of the fortress. Now, it can either be a Night Luminary, which you obviously can't splatter, or it can be a Scout, which you can splatter. Now, if you have one player on your team every time spawning in that Scout Hog prepared to splatter that boss, that can give you a huge advantage in getting that 25-point boost and the REQ level boost right at the get-go. Now, the final reason why to call in hogs are to be a distraction to the enemy team. If the enemy team sees a couple of hogs in its spawn dropping off players, backcapping or being shot at by a turret, they're not going to ignore the hogs. They're going to either go stop the backcap, hunt down the players that are hiding, or shoot the people in the hog. And it's going to take a few players on their team out of the game in a least important place, while your team can cap a fortress or a base while they're a few men down. And it is a huge play to distract them. Okay, that sums up the basic opening hog strat. Now we're going to move on to the loadout weapons that do not require any REQ level. Now these are pretty much no-brainers. Everyone should hopefully be equipping the Magnum that has extended mags, which is 50% more ammo in the clips than reserve ammo. It's going from 12 bullets into the clip to 18 in the clip, which is obviously huge. There's really no other alternative unless you want to use the gunfighter Magnum, which it's all right, but it's a 6-shot, doesn't have as much range, and I don't like the gunfighter Magnum at all. Now, the other loadout weapon that everyone should be using is the silenced AR. Now, the AR, as we all know in Halo 5, is ridiculously good at close range and can even fight at medium range, which it's never been like that in any other Halo. So, to make it even better is to put a silencer on it, so when you rush an army or you're in close range and you're crouching, or you're not moving, and you're shooting the weapon, no one's going to know where you are. So, you have a huge advantage with that silencer on the AR. That's just another no-brainer. Okay, now we're going to move on to what I think is the most versatile REQ level 2, and that is the speed boost. This is going to be good on any map, any situation, and any scenario. Now basically, this is going to give you a minute and 30 seconds of being able to run quicker, reload faster, jump a mantle quicker, and just generally be quicker around the map. And this is going to be so essential in helping your team cap bases, kill bosses, and just slay. So for example, say you ran to a middle base, or you ran to a boss, or you ran to your power position, and you died at the very beginning, and you're not even close to REQ level 3, calling in a speed boost is going to help you get back to your position, get back to your teammates way quicker, and help you be more effective in the game. And also, one thing to note is I do prefer a speed boost over Scout Hogs on some maps 100% of the time. Maps like Noctis, Darkstar, and Apex, I always use speed boosts. They are always helping me out on those maps. I really especially love the flank on Apex through your pillbox, where you go to your home base, you grab your pistol and your AR, and then you go and get a speed boost and hurry and help on Spire. Next, I'm going to go over the highly deadly long-range weapon that you're going to see a lot of experienced players pull out at level 2, and that is the carbine. It is essentially a DMR at level 2 that is going to outgun pistols at longer ranges almost every time. Now, how experienced players go about to using this weapon strategically is that they get on high power point positions, such as the rock on temple, or on top of a garage, or in a monument, and they start putting shots down across the map on players that are just spawning or trying to get into that base. It is just going to mow down people at those kind of ranges, and especially if you have multiple teammates with those, you're just going to team shot everyone. Now, the carbine should be utilized on both the Warzone assault maps and the regular Warzone maps, as long as it is used in the right strategical positioning. Now we move on to the storm rifle variant called the Fury. In Halo 5, we all know how overpowered the storm rifle is. You're always going to pick it up off the ground, and it's always going to melt people at close range. And the same can be said about the Fury. The Fury has less heat dissipation, which means it's going to overcharge less, and it also has better accuracy, which means you're going to be killing people from a further range. Now, this is really good for going for those close quarters combat situations, like rushing an armory or a fortress or something to the same extent. If you're rushing an enemy's base and you know you're going to be in close range combat, a Fury is always going to be great to have, and it's always going to give you a little bit of an advantage over the enemy. Now, I don't usually use these in a sweaty game, but I can definitely see some people getting away with it and doing just fine with them. Now, lastly, we're going to go over something that is very new and under-talked about since its rec level was just changed. Not many people have gotten really experienced with that, and that is the regular rec variant of the plasma pistol. That is Rec 2. Now, I don't know if you guys have been in those sweaty games where each team is calling in 3 to 4 ghosts and they're rushing like a fortress and they're getting in the back of the fortress and they're trying to delay it as long as they can so that they can have their foot soldiers walk in and try to clear the other enemy team. But if you have 1 or 2 teammates call in these rec level 2 pistols, get in that fortress and start stunning their ghosts, and you know your teammates are starting to shoot and kill the people out of the ghosts, that is going to be a huge changing factor in who's going to get the fortress. And another thing too to note is that if they're calling in OSs instead of ghosts, that a plasma pistol is obviously, if you charge up, is going to melt that overshield, and you're going to be able to get the kill on those overshields. That's going to really piss them off that they just spent their Rec 3 on that.
Kill the rail. I'm off the map though.
Before I conclude, there is one thing I did touch on a little bit at the beginning, but I want to go over more in depth now, and that is that you can be using all these recs in like combinations with your teammates that can really give you a huge advantage. So you can be having a teammate get a rally hog and getting people with carbines and storm rifles in it, and then getting to your place quicker, or you can be using a speed boost and getting your better Magnum and better assault rifle. So you can be smart with these combinations. You're not exclusive to just having 1 or 2 items. That concludes my first tip video on what to use at Rec Level 2, and I think I'm going to make this a weekly series, so I'll be doing my Rec Level 3 next week, and I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I know a lot of the experienced sweaty Warzone players know a lot of these tips, but I hope some less experienced people got something out of this, and hope you guys enjoyed it overall, and I'll be seeing you in my next video.